Dawn Gearhart from Superior Middle School. Welcome to News 6. With today's first story, here's Stephanie Vasher.
For our first story today, News 6 visited the Montpelier Railroad, where we learned about the responsibilities of working with trains.
Thanks, Stephanie. I'm Leslie Krause here with Larry Martin. Larry, what is a caboose?
Well, caboose, Leslie, was located on the rear of the train, and that is where the conductor and the flagman would ride on the back of the freight trains.
Larry, do trains still use cabooses?
No, Leslie, cabooses are no longer furnished on freight trains. The cabooses were done away with due to the fact of simplification and delays in terminals. They had to change the cabooses all the time, and now when a freight train comes in, there's no caboose. They don't have to take a caboose off, service, maintenance, so they're no longer used on trains today.
Larry, what is your relationship with the railroad?
I'm a freight train conductor, Leslie.
Larry, what does a conductor do?
A conductor supervises the work to be sure that it's done fast and properly. That's what a conductor basically does. He supervises.
Larry, how long have you worked for the railroad?
38 years, Leslie. I started back in 1955 as a brakeman, and a brakeman was actually the employees that would do the work, throw the switches, set the cars off, apply hand brakes, do all the work, connect all the air hoses. And in 1960, I was promoted to a conductor.
Larry, how does a train stay on its tracks?
Leslie, the train's a wheel has what they call a flange. And that's a wide part on the inside of the rail. The flat part of the wheel rides on the rail, and the flange sticks out, rides on the inside of the rail, and keeps the train, the tracks, and the wheel together so they don't slide back and forth.
What advice would you give to a young person who's interested in working on the railroad?
Job pays very well, and I think it would be a future that if somebody wanted to go to work today, it would be a good place to go to work.
Larry, we really enjoyed having you here today and learning about the Wabash Railroad.
Well, Leslie, it's been my pleasure. I thank you for asking me.
Choo choo! Back to the station!
Today's News 6 is produced by the 6th grade class of Superior Middle School in Montpelier. Montpelier is located about 5 miles from Bryan, Ohio, and has a population of about 4,300.
For our next story today, News 6 visited the Robinair, where we learned about the benefits of recycling, CFCs, the chemical that destroys the ozone layer. Here is Norm Mahboub with the story.
Thanks, Tiff. I'm Norm Mahboub at the Robinair plant with Jim Biedenharn. And Jim, what exactly are CFCs?
Well, CFCs are a chemical that are used in air conditioning and refrigeration systems, and they're used to remove the heat from the system so that you can create cold air, whether it's in your refrigerator or in your living room.
Jim, I've heard that CFCs damage the ozone layer. Is that true?
That is true. CFCs contain a chlorine molecule, and the CFCs live a long time, and they eventually get into the stratosphere, and that chlorine then destroys the ozone layer by eating up the ozone chemicals.
Jim, how does this plant recycle CFCs?
We don't really recycle CFCs at the plant. We make equipment that a contractor who would service an air conditioning or refrigeration system would use to recycle the CFCs. So we build the equipment for the service people to use. This machine is used in an automotive shop to recover the refrigerant or the CFCs from a car. And it has the gauges on it and a keypad control that will recover the refrigerant and then put it back in when it's clean.
Jim, what are the benefits of recycling CFCs?
Well, there's two benefits. One is to prevent the CFCs from getting into the ozone, so that helps protect the ozone. And secondly, it reuses a resource that we used to waste, so it's also a good recycling practice.
Can you give me a little history about the company?
Yes, Robinair has been in business for over 30 years, and we developed our business in making air conditioning and refrigeration service equipment, which is why we were involved in the CFC issue. So not only do we make equipment to recycle and recover CFCs, we also have other service equipment. And we're also developing some equipment to recover and recycle antifreeze, which is another environmental problem that's growing in our country.
Thanks, Jim. I learned a lot about CFCs.
Thank you, Maura. I appreciate you coming by.
Back to WBGU.
Every young person has a dream of meeting the famous person they really admire. Today's Kids View question discovers which famous people the students of Superior Middle School would like to spend the day with.
Hi, I'm Melissa Boffman. Today's Kids View question is, if you could spend the day with any person, who would it be and why?
If I could spend the day with any famous person, who would it be and why? President Clinton, so I can visit the White House.
If I could spend the day with any famous person, who would it be and why? I would choose Patrick Swayze so I could get to know him better.
If I could spend the day with any famous person, who would it be and why? Ross Perot, because he might give me some money.
If I could spend the day with any famous person and why? I'd spend the day with Shaquille O'Neal so I could get his autograph.
For our last story today, News 6 spoke with William Eckler from the Williams County Historical Society. Here's Joy Eckler with the story.
Thanks, Mike. I'm Joy Eckler, here today at the Williams County Historical Society to speak with Bill Eckler. Let's go in and take a look.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Joy. Welcome to the museum. How are you today?
Fine. Can you tell us a little bit about the museum? Who owns it?
Who owns the museum? Fine, that's a very good question. The museum was originally started by an individual people that were interested in restoring and preserving the artifacts of the county. And over the period of the years, everything that is in the museum has been donated by the people of the county.
You have many exhibits here. What is your favorite?
Well, I think that my favorite exhibits are the Indian Room, which has multitudes of Indian artifacts that were donated to the museum, plus the steamer that is owned by the city of Bryan, the steam pumper, and the switchboard that was given to us as the last telephone switchboard in the county.
Can you tell us something about the steam engine?
Yes, Joy. The steam engine was a working engine that the Bryan Fire Department used for many, many years. And when it was retired from service, they did not have a place to store it, so therefore they brought it to the museum on loan.
Why is the museum so important to the community?
It's very, very important to the community because many of the things that are here would be either tucked away or thrown away, and it's our heritage to preserve and display the things that we have here.
Thanks, Bill, for letting me talk to you and look at the exhibits.
You're entirely welcome. I'm glad you all came and hope you can come again. Remember, history is like charity. It begins at home.
Back to WGVU.
Thank you for joining us today. Tune in next time when Pandora Gilboa Middle School visits News 6. Have a great day.
Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.